Hey guys, Shinmir here, and we're back with another video deck guide, this time on the Miracle Bran deck with the new and improved Coral in the recent patch. Now, I know what you're thinking. Didn't he just do a Bran Lippy deck guide like a week ago? The answer is yes, but this deck is significantly different, and the biggest thing is it's much stronger, it's much more competitive than the Bran Lippy deck that we showcased last week. Now, most of this is due to the upgrade, the buff that Coral got in this recent patch. She used to discard 3 cards, now she can only discard 2 cards, but the buff comes in the form of Zeal, and Zeal is a really key part of Coral. Before she had Zeal, she would just get removed or locked as soon as you played her. But now with Zeal, she's mostly undisruptible, and she can get usually 10-12 points as soon as you play her, which makes her already good for 9 provisions, and she has a lot more upside on top of that. So how does she get 12 points? Well, she plays a 4, and you can immediately discard 2 special cards from your hand, which means that you get the damage random enemy by 2 twice, so that's 8 points. Then on the same turn, you can Bran, use your leader to discard a 3rd special card. That's another 2 points that you're getting from Coral because you're discarding a special card. So that's putting her up to 10. And then you also have to remember, because she discards 2 cards, she's giving you 2 extra pings from your leader ability, your leader passive. So that brings her up to a total of 12. Now, if she sticks for another turn or even longer, you can follow up with more discards like Birna Bran and the 2 Heme Scalds. If you discard more special cards, every special card you discard, she'll give you another 2 damage. So, and then she's able to be replayed with cards like Renew in round 2 or round 3, or replayed just by shuffling her back into the deck with Lippy. The biggest change from the previous Bran Lippy deck is that this deck's bronze core is very different. It plays a lot of bronze special cards, cheap 4 provision bronze special cards, and some of these were buffed in this patch as well. Cards like Trophy Catch and Spores, I think, both decreased in provisions from 5 to 4, and you're now able to fit in even more high provision win conditions because of that change. You play here, I think, a total of 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 Diamond Shackles. Cheap bronze special cards. They're basically discard fodder for the most part. There are some cases where you actually want to play them. If you're playing against like an engine heavy deck, maybe you play the Shackles. If you're playing against an artifact deck, you play the Dimeridium Bomb. Or if you're playing against a weather deck, you can play the Clear Skies. The best part of this deck is that you're able to include all of these cheap tech cards for no real penalty, because in the case where you don't want to play them, then you just discard them. This deck has so many ways to discard cards. 3 from Leader, 2 from Coral, 2 from Birna, that's 7 already. 2 more from Heme Scalds, that's 9. And then you have to remember, you can also replay these discarding cards after you play Lippy. Your Lippy also discards cards, the ones that you haven't played from your deck yet. So there's so much discard overload in this deck that you're almost never stuck playing a bad card, even though you have so many of them in your deck. Now, I want to talk about this other cheap special card that we haven't looked at yet. Very controversial inclusion in this deck. It's Elf and Onion Soup. This card has not seen any play in the meta right now, but it's pretty interesting card for this deck. And if you were going to include this card in any deck, it would probably be this one. So what does Elf and Onion Soup actually do? It destroys 2 allied units of the same border color, that means either gold or bronze, then create and play a unit of the same color from your faction. So we're always going to want to destroy 2 golds and create a gold, rather than destroy 2 bronzes and create a bronze. And it says here from your faction, but that's actually an error in the tooltip. It actually creates a unit from either your faction or from the neutral faction. And that's actually a good thing for us. It's better than something like Uma. Uma's Curse creates any gold unit from any faction, and Elfin Onion Soup is more likely to get us something that synergizes with our deck, something like a second Coral, another Morkvarg, or a second Birna. It is a special card, which is good for Coral. It is cheap, so you don't mind discarding it. You can actually discard this card most of the time. And when you play it, you are probably destroying 2 pretty low power golds, something like Lippy and Roach, or like a damaged Witcher and another damaged Witcher, or you're probably only losing like 3 or 4 points when you use Elfin Onion Soup. And I did some Excel spreadsheet math, and you get about 8.5 points back. So if you lose 3 points and you get 8.5 points back, you get 5.5 points tempo for the 6 provision card, which is not great, but it has some other upsides. If you play it in round 1, you can create carryover value. Like you can create a Witcher, a Roach, a Morkvarg, even a Coral, a second Coral, or a second Birna, a second Karnak, second Unicorn, those sort of things. There's a lot of possibilities with this, and I think this is a card that you probably want to play in round 1 more than you want to play in round 3. You can also use this to destroy one of your own golds, put it in the graveyard, either to shuffle back into your deck with Lippy or to renew. It can activate a dead renew in round 1, or even a dead renew in like round 3 where you Lippied and you don't have any good renew targets left in your graveyard. You can use the Elfin Onion Soup to activate your renew. This is a very versatile card, and again, like all your other cheap provision cards, you don't have to play it. Like I would recommend, if you want to play this card, play it in round 1, where tempo doesn't matter as much for you because you're tempoing out so much as a Lippy deck anyways in round 1 relative to your opponent. And if you redraw it in round 3, just discard it and get the extra 2-point ping from Coral. Very fun card to play around with. Maybe if you find yourself in a very desperate situation in round 3, then you go for it and you go for the high roll. You try to get that second Unicorn Kyrenex. You try to get that Geralt Professional or Geralt of Rivia against their really tall unit. You can find all sorts of interesting things from this card. A lot of fun. Definitely, I encourage you to experiment with this card. And then we have, let's see, Muzzle. Muzzle is very similar. It plays a very similar role to the previous Bran Lippy deck that we showcased last week. It can get you really good golds for you to replay after you Lippy. It can get you carryover like Morkvarg, enemy Morkvargs, enemy Roaches, enemy Witchers. You have to decide whether you need the immediate tempo or if you want to use Muzzle as a means of carryover value, deferred value for round 2 and round 3. You can also muzzle, a really nice thing is to muzzle Unicorns and Kyrenexes, because you get 8 tempo, which is very decent, and you make it a lot harder for them to deny your 12-point value Unicorn or Kyrenex, because you now have 2 of one of them, and then you get to replay both of them in round 3 as well. Renew is a card that we didn't have in the previous Bran Lippy deck, but it works very well in this version because Renew becomes super flexible. With so much additional thinning with the inclusion of Coral, you can renew Lippy sometimes. You Lippy in round 2 for the first time, play a bunch of good cards. Then in round 3, if your graveyard from round 2 is better than the cards remaining in your deck, you can renew Lippy in round 3, get the 5 or 10 or whatever tempo, depending on how many Roaches and how many Morkvargs you have left in your graveyard and deck. Get the decent tempo with Lippy, then you shuffle all the good cards you played in round 2 back into your deck in round 3, then you thin with Leader, thin with Birna. It's all dependent on the situation. You have to analyze how good your graveyard is, how good your remaining deck cards in your deck are. Would you rather play cards from your graveyard, or would you rather play cards from your deck? If you'd rather play cards from your deck, then you don't want to renew Lippy. You can renew Kyrenex Unicorn. You can renew Coral for another engine, for another round of Miracle. If you need more discards, right, you definitely want to renew Coral or Birna. And I also want to talk about this card, Brockvar Hunter. It's a 4 provision card, but it can potentially get a lot of value in this deck, more so than the previous Bran Lippy deck, because you have more discards in this deck when you add in the Coral. And you also have the second Scald, which we didn't have in last week's deck. Rockfar Hunter, you have to judge whether or not this is gonna stick on the board. You have to. This requires some knowledge of the meta and what answers your opponent likely plays. If you're on red, you can afford to play this card in round 1 a little bit more, since you have that leeway of that extra card. If you're on blue, you have to be careful, because if it gets answered and you played a really low tempo card, you might be looking at losing on even, potentially, depending on how strong the rest of your hand is. But if you can stick a Brockfar Hunter, it's 4 points by itself. You get 1 point from Bran, and you get 1 point for every other discard you have. So like Coral adds 2 more points to it, Birna adds 2 more points to it, and Scald adds 1 more point to it. And then it's also a removal. It's points in the form of removal, which can become really helpful against certain decks that run smaller engines. So you have to use your judgment on when you can stick this and when it's a liability and it's just going to trade down to some sort of removal. The general game plan of this deck is to never stop making power plays. It's very characteristic of a Lippy Goodman deck. You want to open round 1 with Witchers, then you just slam the Coral, start discarding all the specials, probably play good cards like Unicorn Chironex, muzzle their strong gold to get it into your deck for round 3 with the Lippy. And if you win round 1, which is most likely the case, you can Lippy in round 2, then cycle through your deck again, get all those good cards again, and maybe you Lippy again with Renew in round 3, and just play the same 7 or 8 gold cards over and over again. And because you have so much thinning and so much discard, you never have to play these bad cards. And as you thin, as you discard these bad cards, which are mostly bronze specials, you keep getting the 2 damage ping from the Coral passive ability, which adds up to a ton of points. Most opponent decks cannot keep up with this sort of tempo, and this is why I think this is probably one of the strongest decks in the meta right now, maybe even warranting a nerf in a hotfix. I think the biggest weakness that this deck has is having a weak round 1 draw or weak round 1 hand. Like all Lippy decks, that's what you're most scared of, because the cards that you play in round 1 are the ones that you're probably going to play 2 or even 3 times with Lippy. So that's why you have to get really aggressive with your mulligans in round 1 if the situation calls for it. The one situation that you want to avoid is having too many of these bad bronze specials and not having enough discard or thin. Let's say you have a hand that doesn't have Coral, that doesn't have Birna, and doesn't have Heme Scald, but you have like 4 or 5 bronze specials. Well, you're not going to be able to thin through your deck. It's going to be hard to find your Coral. You can't really play these bronze specials, and you can't really get rid of them. So you just have to be more aggressive in that situation. Even if you haven't mulliganed or blacklisted your Roach yet, you need to take that last mulligan. As with all Lippy decks, you have to make sure you count your cards near the end of the game before you Lippy. Make sure that you're not going to over thin after you Lippy, and that you have enough discarding cards to get rid of all the bad cards that will remain in your hand and that you will draw into after you Lippy. If you will overthin, then maybe you need to play a card or 2 more, maybe special cards that will go directly to your graveyard, maybe Elfin Onion Soup to put something in your graveyard before you Lippy. And if you don't have enough discard to get rid of all your bad cards, then you're going to have to find a way to sneak 1 or 2 bad cards in without losing card advantage or without losing too much tempo. So that's it for the deck guide portion of this video. Make sure you guys stick around for the gameplay clips afterwards, because they are some really good ones. 2 games showing the power of this deck, as well as a bonus 3rd game showing how flexible and how fun this deck can be sometimes. Make sure you don't miss it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. We stream every single day on Twitch, every weekday I mean, at 7 p.m. CET, 10 a.m. Pacific, if you want to see live gameplay of this deck as well as many others. Follow me there at twitch.tv/shinmiri2, and you can find my Twitter link also down below in the info section. Hope you have a great time, enjoy this deck, and we'll see you next time. Oh my god, this is going to probably be my next YouTube video on this deck. I just did one on Bran Lippy Uma, but this is different enough that I would probably want to make another video for it. Did Elp and Onion Soup turn out to be good? I mean, it got us Gimpy, which is another really good win condition against Arrakis Queen. We're going second against... Oh, it's Saber. Saber's playing Broover. Probably playing like a movement deck. I guess he's experimenting with movement. We gotta keep this, right? Because we still have a Dead Witcher and a Dead Roach.
We'll pay men back for their persecution.
Oh, whoa. What was that? When he played the Agitator, it's like opponent is deciding? I never noticed that before. Okay. We play... He's playing Dwarves. So I'm going to want to play this in the range row. So I think we'll play this in the melee row to avoid row stacking too hard. Play this first, then try to stick a Brockbar Hunter. Oh, Roach. Roach, Roach, Roach. Too many cards in the same row. I don't have that many specials in my hand right now, unfortunately. I only have one. We need to hope to draw into more specials.
Nigh is the time of the sword.
Oh, he's playing so slow. Playing quite slow on blue. Do we want to play this? Because, like, if we play this and he kills it, which is probably what's going to happen, then I lose the tempo advantage that I have. I'm down 3 points only right now, down a card. And I'd rather pressure him with tempo than play this, I think. I think there's not much of a chance against Broover that this is going to live. So we're just going to go with Coral. I don't want to muzzle this because this is a bad card for me to muzzle. I could muzzle the Roach. I could muzzle the Roach before I start paying stuff. Is Broover going to give me anything good to muzzle? I could do this. I'm not sure if Broover's going to give me anything good to muzzle. Maybe a Ciaran for a lock. Oh man. T-Bomb, where you at? This is probably gonna die. This is probably Crushing Trap or Incinerating Trap or Horn. If it's Crushing Trap, he's just gonna move. He's just gonna like Broover this once. But I guess if he wants to use a Broover, that's fine. I just hope this isn't Incinerating Trap.
I suppose. And the end.
I don't want to discard this card. I don't want to discard this card. Oh my god. Fuck. I'm gonna get rid of this.
Let's not get in the way of me axe.
And we'll hold this, right? Because we're not discarding a special right now. Let's see what this is. This is gonna be good. Is this Crushing? It's not Crushing, so this is Crushing. This is Crushing Trap, this is Horn. So I kill this. Got him! Do I brand now? Yeah, we can brand now. Since he might pass. I don't think we need to hold brand for any reason. We're not gonna, like, yeah. We don't really need to hold brand for any reason. Oh man, now I wish I had 2 D-bombs in the deck. How did I know? You just read it, right? Like, if this was Crushing Trap, it would have flipped over already, and it didn't. So it's most likely Horn, especially the positioning. And like after we got a 5th unit on the row, he wanted to play another trap. It's probably Crushing Trap. Too bad we can't renew too bad we can't renew D-Bomb. So he's got 18 points right now. He's still ahead. I mean, we can just
Don't
thin.
you pester
That's
me.
fine.
Scurry away, before it's too late.
Okay, Nivellen comes out. That's like a lot of... It's a big win condition, and he's not even that far ahead. He's up 10 points, and I'm still up a card. I think we're gonna... If I Birna here, how many points do I get? I get 7 from Birna and 2 more from this. That's 9. So that's not enough. Unless I draw another special. If I draw another special, then I could discard 2 specials. Then I would get 11 points, right? All right, we're greedy. Let's go for it. Let's see if we can force another card out of him. Nice. Does this work? Oh, yes. Oh my god, we're still up by 1. Still up by 1. We can't play the Scowl anymore this round, though. Unless we're going to discard Renew. Easy skill. Jesus. We force his Unicorn out. We'll trade Unicorn for Unicorn. Because he can't replay his cards. I can. He has Elias too? Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that would kind of work here. A lot of value on Elias.
Slaughter them to a man!
So he has 8 points, right? That puts him at 21. I need 4 points here. I'm actually considering discarding Renew. Like I can't get 4 points. I can't get 4 tempo from Renew right now because there's nothing good in my graveyard. Like I discard Renew and then I just Lippy it back. And I get 7 points from this.
Hey, listen here. Listen well.
Oh, nice. Elf and Onion Soup. Cool. Discard Lippy, you can always renew him. But I don't... If I discard Renew, I get 2 points from Coral. If I discard Lippy, I don't get 2 points from Coral. Winning on even. Oh my god. Now we get to push? We got him! Dude, this deck is ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. We want Morkvarg in the deck, and we want Ale in the deck. I think we want the Clear Skies in hand, just in case. Just in case he has Weather. Why no one kills Coral? I don't know, man.
Ha! That a challenge?
And we're going to hold our brand for the skirmish. Jesus Christ! Oh, I think I just... Oh my god! Dude, I already forgot. I forgot that we had the second Roach. I even took a low tempo muzzle in round 1 and we still won on even. Oh my god. Help. Please send help. Oh my god. How do I keep doing this? What is happening right now? I think we play Elf and Onion Soup. Damn. I can't copy this to synthesis. That's unfortunate. I guess these are both the same. Lock Morkvarg? Does that do anything? I can't renew Lippy anymore. I don't think it does anything.
Reasons for the feeble of heart!
Too bad I can't target this.
Sure.
Copy Morkvarg? Doo-doo only copies enemies. I'm gonna push him. I want a shorter round 3. Shorter round 3 should be better for me. And I actually want to keep this in hand in case I draw the coral. Easy peasy. Look at this. He had to commit his Kyrenex in round 1. Oh my god, this is so unfair. How did I draw into the unicorn? This is actually unfair.
Aye, soon as I finish my
So
fight.
win condition gone? Alright. Fine with me. Jesus. We didn't get our extra card because Elf and Onion Soup failed us. We could have gotten an extra card if we rolled better with Elf and Onion Soup. Oh my god, I actually have Renew. I do have Renew. I forgot. We actually do have Renew, but I'm not gonna renew Lippy again. It's not worth it at this point. I'm pretty sure I keep this hand though.
Humans are not to be trusted. I'm too old for this shit.
So what I think I have to discard the Clear Skies first with Bran and then Birna because I could Birna first and then just not use Bran.
Why have you summoned me?
But I think this is better off for me. What does Renew get me right now? It's probably just going to be an 8.
How? Tom!
We shall do it my way.
Ugh. Gross. I think it's these two.
Nothing like some overseas plundering in springtime.
Leader Birna before Renew Lippy.
Never had your kneecaps broken.
I guess Renew Lippy is still 8 points, huh? But I mean, we had... actually... Yeah, looking at it, you're right. We should have renewed Lippy. Our graveyard is actually better than our deck at that point. Like, the only thing that we really want from our deck is Muzzle and Coral. And Muzzle isn't even that good. Oh well.
I promise you a quick death.
Yeah, maybe we threw.
They can hide, but there is no escape.
Nope, we're okay. We're good. We're down 6 points here. We have 8 on the Renew. Alright, we're just gonna do it. Just gonna do the Renew Lippy. Just for shits and giggles. To get the double Roach back out. That's crazy, man. Oh, man. It was closer than I thought, but I also misplayed. And we got unlucky on the soup. But we still win. We are undefeated right now with this deck. Oh my god. This actually feels broken. Imagine Morkvarg jumping there as well. Morkvarg wouldn't jump there though. Morkvarg needs to be in your deck.
Onward! Attack!
So like if we had locked the Morkvarg, he would have been in the graveyard. And then he would have gone back into the deck. And then we could potentially draw into him. Bolt test.
Fire!
Double Roach is pretty hilarious, yeah. Will Amir ever be viable in the future? Yeah, of course. You just need a good Nilfgaardian card that has good deploy, or worth replaying. Nilfgaard card that's worth replaying, then it'll be good. I like to keep this hand. We have 4 specials to discard. We've got Coral. We've got a lot of discarders. Got 1 Witcher. Great hand. Soup is low tempo? Yeah, sure. Soup is low tempo. We can even discard Soup. It's a potential discard candidate. Play in the front row to avoid reinforced Trebuchet. Okay, so this is a Blue Stripes meme deck. This is basically You Got Stains deck. Lego Holy was watching our stream while we were analyzing You Got Stains deck and was like, oh my god, I want to play this. Yeah. So, I mean, it's correct to kill this, right? Pretty sure it's correct to kill this. He's going to get more of them out. I could have killed it with Trophy Catch as well, but I'd rather use the Kyrenex. It's more tempo. We're on red. We can punish him for tempo. And we want to discard the specials anyways. Hey, good game, Saber.
Elves must die!
What the fuck was that? That was the most OP deck you'll ever see, man. How did you end turn with keyboard spacebar? Okay, so he's got 1 commando in his deck right now. Okay, it's time. Let's do it.
That might even be amusing.
He's not playing any weather. I'm gonna get rid of that. He's probably not playing artifacts, but I could get rid of one of these first. Oh, we're probably gonna get rid of 3 cards though. Lost a little bit of value on that. And then let's just get rid of the artifact removal. I don't think we'll need it. Oh jeez. More specials. Oh boy. Oh boy. We're up 5 cards right now. Or 5 points right now on even after counting the tactical advantage. And he just played another 4. Like, maybe he necromancies this and gives it Zeal to bring the other 2 out. Just continue discarding.
Hey, listen here. Listen well.
Dude, what if we muzzle his commando? What if we muzzle his commando and just discard it later? Or maybe if our random brand ping hits the Vesemir, we muzzle the Vesemir. Oh wow, he drew really well. He drew a commando, both scouts and reinforcements. Highly impressive.
You stand before the Queen of Skellige.
This is like overkill. I don't know if I want to discard this. It seems almost like overkill. He's gonna pass here because he doesn't want us to be able to dry pass him. I think I want to discard either Elfin Onion Soup or Brockfar Hunter. I think it's probably Brockfar Hunter. We really don't need that many points. Oh man, no, just a little too late. Look at that RNG, 3 hits, all on that unit, with 6 units on his board. Right after he copied it 3 times, so he's got 3 of them in his deck. We're gonna force him to play that in round 2, I think. Well, actually, yeah, we're gonna force him to play it in round 2. Maybe force his Pavetta out as well. How much removal does he have? I think this probably is bad. I think I want the Morkvarg for tempo, so we're gonna mulligan it away. And what's left in my deck? I would like this. I would like this as well. Let's get rid of the Hunter. I think the Hunter dies, either to like a Vess or to a Selkirk. Just Ennui, thank you for the resub for 4 months in a row. Welcome back. Sub hype for Just Ennui. Alright, we're just doing it.
Crumpled ground steps
Oh man, I messed up again. I messed up again. I should have renewed first. I keep forgetting. Should have renewed Coral first. But if I renew Coral, it's just gonna die, right? I can't get any value out of her this round. I needed to find another proactive play. I didn't have another proactive play. If I play Scald, I might draw into the Morkvarg. Then I'm sad. Or if I draw into the Hunter, I'm also kind of sad. Wow, he used his Vest already. Wow. I think we play Elf and Onion Soup here.
Don't give up easy, do you?
Do I want more thinning? I think I just take Herald Hounds out. Like, I'm not gonna play Lippy again, right? Right? I don't think I'm gonna play Lippy again, so I think it's okay to play Herald Hounds out now. I don't really want Stregobor. It's just fewer points. I'm gonna play Herald in the front. In case he has Reinforced Trebuchet, I wanted to Reinforced Trebuchet hit these randomly. That was a 4-point soup. Pretty bad. But if he doesn't answer this, I can get more points.
No
Muzzle. I wonder how correct it is to play Morkvarg from hand with soup. It's not correct.
Finally.
It's too slow. It's way too slow. You play a 5-tempo Morkvarg instead of getting the Morkvarg out for free. You're basically playing a 0-tempo card the turn that you play Morkvarg to make your Elf and Onion Soup like 1 to 3 points better. Why would you care about tempo when you want uneven? Because you can still get his extra card.
Crack and eat me ghoulies. Looky here.
I think we are going to play Unicorn. I think I'm going to save the Scald for next round. Skull? Skull? Oh. Maybe I shouldn't have buffed this one. I should keep playing, though. I should keep playing.
Across the wide, somber sea, I will sail.
Nice. Renew Herald, 6 friends.
Alert! To arms!
I'm in no mood to talk.
Oh my god, this Trebuchet is MVP! Avoiding these skulls like a pro. Actually getting him points. Not losing him points.
Met. I don't recall.
Yeah, we're just gonna force all of his cards out, I think. Dude, come on! Reinforced Trebuchet, what the hell? Yeah, let's just go.
We'll forget all.
Watch it still not snipe a skull.
Don't give up easy, do you?
Watch it still hit one of the 3s.
The finest of Temeria's finest.
Does he have Ockfist?
Time for a beating.
Oh, baby! Nice play, Lego Holy. Oh my god. The value! Oh my god, he's actually a madman. I can't believe he did that. What a madman. I have to applaud that. That was great. Great emote as well. Wow, the best Gimpy I've ever seen, right? That's awesome. He just asserted absolute dominance over us with that play. Leto works in mysterious ways. He's programmed about as well as Blue Dream. Oh, I have a question for you guys who have played Leto of Gullet or played against him. If you have both Serret and Ox in your hand, can you target 2 different units for the lock and the 3 damage? Or do you have to use both on the same unit?
Getting to work.
Just one, okay. Gotcha. That's what my guess was. Probably too annoying or difficult programming wise to have him target 2 different units. Alright, what are we doing here?
Not much left of that.
Playing Witchers first, and then I can think about playing Brockvar Hunter. If he removes it, we're on red. We don't care too much. If he doesn't remove it, then we get a lot of points with it. Oh my god! This is so satisfying. Holy Jesus. You know what I love about this deck? What I really love about this deck is that you can play so many techs and you don't get punished for playing techs because you have so many discards. Oh my god, is he gonna forfeit immediately? We just traded a 4 provision card for a 12 provision card. We lost 2 points. Oh, I forgot to emote.
The Isles, thank you.
Oh man, like if
I'll give you
you're
this.
sick of facing weather, if you're sick of facing artifacts, if you're sick of facing a lot of highly boosted units, just play this deck. You have answers for everything, and you never have to commit to playing those cards. Oh my god, look at that! Holy oh my god!
I'll give you this. You did
Oh, there it is! Forfeit! Oh! I don't think I've ever had such a satisfying game. I'm drooling. I'm like salivating uncontrollably.